Before they were household names, they showcased their amazing talents as McDonald's All-Americans. Candace, Brianna, Maya, Sabrina, Skylar, Tina, Simone, Elena, Asia. So who's next? We learn their names tonight. We welcome you to the 2022 McDonald's All-American Girls Game. The most star-studded night in high school basketball is back after a 3-year hiatus, and it's back in Chicago at Wintrust Arena. 24 of the best players in America take the floor tonight as the West matches up with the East. One of those standouts, Flau'jae Johnson, a star on the court and on the mic. She's already got a record deal with Jay-Z's Rock Nation. Hi there and welcome inside. I'm Ted Emmerich along with former Coastal Carolina star Brooke Weisbrod. Flau'jae Johnson, just one of the many future stars of the game that we'll get a chance to see tonight.
Right, she's got the flow, she's got the fillet, she's got all the skill sets to put on display tonight in a city that cherishes and loves high school basketball.
Lauren Betts is the #1 player in the ESPN 100. We'll see her with the West.
Yeah, she's a 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year. Headed to Stanford at 6'7". The center can move, can shoot, and the West has a vendetta out for the East. Who beat them in the scrimmage? Kiki Rice, the #2 player in the year, but the Morgan Wooten National Player of the Year headed out west to UCLA. She can handle the ball. She's going to be special tonight.
Here we go from Chicago for the first time since 2019, the McDonald's All-American Games being played. Check out the starters for the East. And joining Rice, Janiah Barker, the top undecided player in the country, #3 player overall in the ESPN 100, decommitted from Georgia on Thursday. And the first basket of the game is scored by Barker for the East. You see the East reserves. India Navarre, headed to Stanford out of North Carolina, won the skills competition yesterday at the Powerade Jam Fest. Flau'jae Johnson starts for the West, missed the jumper to start. Ashlyn Jackson, headed to Duke, won the 3-point contest last night. In fact, had the best score of anyone, including the boys.
So far, exactly what we expected to see. Some quick, fast-paced talent. The East off to a quick 4-0 start. And this is what we saw in the scrimmage the other day. The East came out, well, excuse me, the West came out actually punching first and got a 15-point lead, and the East kept chipping away at that lead. So now we've got a good rivalry going because the winners of the scrimmage the other day got the better locker room. So the West is feeling a little salty about that.
Chance Gray hit the shot for the East in the final seconds to win the scrimmage on Sunday. Out of bounds here, and the West takes possession. The Gray, #10 in blue, headed to Oregon, the Cincinnati product. You love it when I say that. You're going to love that all night because there are a few Cincinnati products in this game. Gray, the #2 point guard in the country, behind only Kiki Rice.
Yeah, Chance Gray, daughter of a coach. Her dad is the head coach at Winton Woods, and her older sister Amber was also a fantastic player. And she's got a strong shot. Strong block by Ayanna Patterson, the UConn signee. Preview of what's to come to the Huskies, who of course are headed to the Final Four after a crazy double OT win over NC State. Barker's been active in this game already.
She's got both baskets for the East, 2-on-1, and Barker finishes herself. She's got all 6. Outlet feed ahead. Reagan Beers is fouled. Beers, out of Colorado, headed to Oregon State.
You know, watch the level of skill that it takes Janiah Barker at 6'4" to run the floor, give a little pass fake, and then an underhand roll to get that bucket. And you know, she was talking about how trying to find the right fit for her and her family, and you know, blocking out all that outside noise and influence to try and decide where she's going to go to school. But you know, you have a plan. You think you're going somewhere, and of course, Joni Taylor took the job at Texas A&M, and Janiah Barker said, I'm going to rethink that move to Georgia.
Barker says she can play 1 through 5. Just a walking mismatch in the high school game. Will certainly be that at the college level, wherever she ends up.
Yeah, I believe that.
Chance Gray in and out for 3. And the rebound taken by Flau'jae Johnson and the West.
Johnson with exceptional speed, can stop and pull up and make adjustments midair. It's one of the best parts about her game is that, you know, she doesn't get rattled. She can score from inside and loves to shoot the ball.
Offensive board by Reagan Beers. Another crack at it for the West. The East won the game the last time it was contested in 2019. That was in Atlanta. Jordan Horston, of course, now at Tennessee, the last MVP as the East won by 15.
Yeah, she stood out to me in that game. It was different, and I was so excited just to see her progress at Tennessee. She's lived up to the hype, and that's one thing you see. You know, we're getting a glimpse at future WNBA stars and Final Four stars, putting it all on display tonight. The level of skill, athleticism, finesse, it just keeps getting better every year. We had 2 ladies in the dunk contest.
And Ashlyn Watkins won it. Rice puts it in, plus the foul. The #1 point guard in the country.
Good read off the screen and roll. Kiki Rice has such a quick, explosive first step. You see the defense late, and Reagan Beers could not stay in front of Kiki Rice, and not a lot of players can. Carries that ball through traffic, takes the contact, and still finishes.
A timeout for the West will step aside. The East out to an 8-1 lead in the McDonald's All-American game. American girls game is presented by McDonald's. We're in Chicago at Wintrust Arena, home of the WNBA champion Chicago Sky, which features 6 McDonald's All-Americans, part of that title-winning squad a year ago. Banner not quite up yet. That'll come just a little bit later this year.
I just want to say I believed in this team all season because there was a point where there were so many injuries. Allie Quigley was out. Stephanie Dolson was doing her thing with USA Basketball, and Candace Parker was coming back from an ankle injury. And they lost about 7 games in a row. It's like, don't worry about it. When they get this full roster together, they got some steam, and they weren't the hot team going into the playoffs, right? Connecticut was. The Sun had 14 wins straight, but the Sky persevered. And this arena that night when they won the championship, Ted, I have goosebumps just thinking about it.
Seats a little over 10,000, filled to the brim. Kiki Rice with the free throw to cap off the 3-point play, a 9-1 lead for the East. Stoppage here. West has been plagued by 3 turnovers so far. Rice, the consensus National Player of the Year, won the Morgan Wooten Award, the Naismith, and the Gatorade National Player of the Year Award. She is the first UCLA women's basketball recruit to be named National Player of the Year.
That's huge. Corey Close at UCLA, and I was excited to have her on the roster. You know, she's somebody who can be a program changer. And pretty cool to join, you know, names like Lonzo Ball, Shabazz Muhammad, and Kevin Love as the National Award winner. And first to do it on the ladies' side.
Ashlyn Jackson hits the 3, picking up where she left off last night when she won the 3-point shootout.
Absolutely loved it. She was more nervous about the interview than she was the contest. She's a genuinely great person, big spirit. Flau'jae met at the rim.
By Justine Passat, and the foul is called. Passat headed to Tennessee. Johnson headed to LSU. They'll meet again in the SEC starting next year.
Ashlyn Jackson, 6-foot guard, going to Duke. Giving you about 21 a game, nice little step back. She's got a great looking 3-point shot, and last night you could tell that she spends a lot of time in the gym because the consistency of her shot, the rotation was the same, footwork was the same. Yeah, you got to know a little something about the outside shot if you're going to play for the Blue Devils.
Jackson says about picking Duke and Carol Lawson, with Coach Lawson, I feel like I can accomplish anything.
Well, that's important. You want a coach who you feel like you can believe in, and they believe in you as well.
Janiyah Barker for 3, so 3 early buckets for 2, and now the triple.
Well, Barker comes into this event as a floor leader, a born leader. She's been the vocal leader this entire event process, just watching her around the team. She's always the loudest one, and I love it.
Ruby Whitehorn off the mark. Beers working hard to create the second chance. Johnson in and out. Ayanna Patterson rips it down. It's a tie-up. And it stays with the West. Here's Lauren Betts, the #1 player in the ESPN 100 at 6'7" and super skilled, headed to Stanford.
Well, Flau'jae Johnson and Betts talked about giving each other space off that screen and roll. And Lauren Betts said, you know, I'm still learning the timing of pick and rolls. And getting all that down. As Gray has a nice looking shot but can't connect.
Offensive rebound for Justine Passat. Gray the reload, and she hits this time.
That's confidence. Love it. She told me that I said, you know, you put up any number of shots or anything before school, what's your workout like? And she's like, I get up with my dad, I get shots up before the day starts at school. You know, it's that extra work. It's not, okay, let me go hard at practice. It's what are you doing before and after practice that's gonna make you better.
Pierce draws the foul inside. Yeah, Chance Gray's dad, Carlton, the head coach at Winton Woods High School. Carlton Gray was an All-American corner at UCLA. Brooke played 8 years in the NFL, and her coach, yes, coaching basketball there at Winton Woods.
Translates, doesn't it? Football and, you know, all that. Well, this is the first time that's also my hometown there, Hamilton, Ohio.
Again, we're going to pop this up on the screen like 5 times
to do it too much.
Just because of you. Don't worry.
Born in Cincinnati, made in Chicago, but either way, the fact that the event is back here again is fantastic, as you're seeing Ashlyn Watkins, the slam dunk champ, making it to the floor for the first time tonight.
One of the highlights, a lefty jam from Ashlyn Watkins, breaking that out of the bag. Rice? And the West takes over. But yes, Ashlyn Watkins from Columbia, South Carolina, #5 in the blue, will stay home and play for Dawn Staley in South Carolina, becoming the second straight girl to win the dunk contest at the Powerade Jam Fest, following Fran Belibi 3 years ago.
I love that Dawn Staley tweeting out today. You know, we've seen this since 5th grade.
Yes.
You know, this is not new to us. But how blessed are they to get, you know, the hometown product? As Johnson goes down pretty tough. You know, you see the culture and just the support that Dawn Staley and her staff have built around Columbia, and the love for women's basketball. So what a perfect fit, you know, to have your family right there as well, and a chance to compete for a national championship for the next 4 years.
Dawn Staley likes to say, you know, it's hard to believe that it's finally time for Ashlyn to join our team next season. We've known about her since the 5th grade. We have been following her progress, and she will be a Gamecock next year.
Oh, you mean when she was dunking on 9-foot rims in 5th grade?
That's right. Watkins inside with the hook. Off the mark. Loose ball corralled by KK Bransford, who's headed to Notre Dame. Gabriela Jaquez, the younger sister of Jaime Jaquez, first team all Pac-12 at UCLA, missed the floater. Grace Van Slooten couldn't finish on the break, but Paris Clark with the follow from New York, headed to Arizona.
Like Paris Clark's game a lot. New York products spent a lot of time on the courts there and at Rucker Park and Dyckman Park in New York, and said that's really where she learned how to fine-tune her game. She's got some flash.
Isanae Brady, top 5 player in the class, going to UConn, too strong with it. Rebound by Jaquez, considered one of the most competitive players in the class.
Boy, defense is at a premium in this game as Gales knocks down her first 3. Aaliyah Gales.
Aaliyah Gales headed to USC. Massive recruiting win for Lindsey Gottlieb.
Good pass.
In the corner, India Navarre. Van Slooten with the offensive rebound. And Jaquez pulls it in for the West.
Yeah, Jaquez is a player that she's not got a great flash part about her game. She's going to do everything right, but very competitive.
Bransford scoops it in.
Oh, I thought that was Johnson. Woo! KK Bransford. KK, her signature is always playing in the pink shoes. So the one of 9 pairs, yes, 9 pairs that these players got throughout this trip. She found the pink ones to wear tonight.
Only 9? They got to step up the swag at the McDonald's All-American game. I'm kidding. That's awesome.
And here's the move by KK Bransford. Nice job in traffic, little head fake to get Cooper off the floor there.
India Navarre, one of 11 players in this game, heading to Pac-12 schools, 11 of the 24. Watkins too strong, Navarre trying to stick with it. West takes it, and a foul called as Aaliyah Gales pulled it in. Oh, we can't wait for the women's Final Four starting Friday night. 7 Eastern, Louisville and South Carolina, a pair of 1 seeds going at it. Then UConn, fresh off that classic victory over NC State in double overtime last night, matching up with the defending champs, Stanford. Both games on ESPN and the ESPN app. How about Paige Buckets with 27 in double overtime?
Right, just stepping up her game in clutch moments, and it was, great to hear Gina Auriemma kind of say, well, we expected her to make an impact. We weren't sure how long it was going to take. I love that matchup, them and Stanford together. And the Louisville-South Carolina matchup is excellent because obviously the defense at which South Carolina plays is elite. Louisville knows how to score. South Carolina, you got Aaliyah Boston, so you got an automatic bucket every time.
Isn't that something, Brooke? 3 years ago, the last time this game was played, Aaliyah Boston was on the court in Atlanta. Amazing to see her progress. Yeah,
Wait
seriously. Didn't have a game 2020, 2021 because of the pandemic.
That's wild.
McDonald's games are back this year, but yes, Boston was on the floor the last time the McDonald's games were played. Talasia Cooper headed to South Carolina with the layup.
A great job by Cooper to stay low, get underneath the defense, and just go a direct path to the basket. There's no wasted steps.
Here's Jaquez.
Yeah, I'd like to see her hunt for her shot more tonight.
Averaged 33 points a game in high school in Camarillo, California. Missed the layup there. Clark, the step back, contact from Jaquez. Clark and Jaquez will see each other plenty in the Pac-12 starting next season, and Clark is fouled.
Paris Clark, so good and can create in the open floor. I always wonder, especially nowadays, how much of your skill can come from playing video games, like your hand-eye coordination. The people that play Madden don't, there's like 50,000 buttons on the controllers now. We're used to A, B, and up and down, right? And that's it.
Yeah, a little Super Nintendo action, right? Does Paris Clark, does she master the blue shell in Mario Kart?
Oh, I could see her.
Remember that?
Yeah,
Come on, you played Mario Kart.
For sure.
Yeah. So 7-point lead for the East, late stages, first quarter here in the McDonald's All-American Girls game. Tamea Gardner headed to Oregon State. Offensive board, Jaquez puts it in. Gabriela Jaquez, such a standout. She'll join her brother at Westwood next year. Clark lost it out of bounds, but last touch by the West. Jaquez says, I just love to compete.
And that's what you want. You want somebody that just wants to constantly work and get better. And she's got a skill set that's evident in all parts of her game. She loves to shoot, she can create. What she's probably best at is drawing fouls, which isn't, a flashy thing to talk about until it's fourth quarter. You need a bucket, and you give the ball to her and allow her to create.
Clark for 3, and an air ball.
It didn't quite have her balance there. You could tell as soon as she let that go, her balance was falling backwards. So, and it's, there's a lot of adrenaline that they've already gone through this week between two-a-day practices and scrimmages and events. They have definitely put in their time, but
Watkins with the block on Bransford. She's still got plenty of energy in the tank.
Tons. Okay, Cooper, what you got? Give her an assist.
Van Sluten didn't put it up. Fancy handle from Talasia Cooper, and India Navarre is fouled. Why wasn't Talasia Cooper in the skills competition?
I'm saying, look at this fine handiwork here. Tight handles for Talasia out of East Clarendon.
from the tiny town of Turbeville, South Carolina, population 766. She was on her high school's varsity squad as a 7th grader.
Oh my gosh.
Had scored 1,000 points in her career before her freshman year started. Ended up with 3,000 career points, and she's staying home to play for Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks.
And that's another, exciting part about this experience is, ball is universal, and so you can come from a small town and a small high school and then be a part of a big program, but get recognized on this national level, this historic level, to be a McDonald's All-American. Hey, there's only 24 that can say that every single year.
Under 35 seconds to play in the quarter. Dale's give and go. Ison Brady puts it home, headed to UConn.
Give me give and go off the pick and roll. It's a great read off the screen and roll. Brady slips that perfectly. The pass placement was also perfect.
Shot clock turned off. 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Clark splitting the defense.
Yes.
And couldn't get the scoop to fall. Still time. Jaquez had it knocked out of her hands. Good if it goes, and it's an air ball from Navarre. And the East with a 4-point lead at the end of one here in Chicago. We're celebrating the return of the McDonald's All-American game for the first time since 2019. The future stars of the game on the court. Oh, I didn't hear about this.
Oh, you didn't? No, there was a little squabble in the huddle between Jimmy Butler and Udonis Haslem.
Oh, yes.
So,
yes.
We asked.
The Heat, yes.
Yeah, so we asked
Gotcha.
Coach about it, and he said, we're just figuring out where to go to dinner at post-game.
Udonis Haslem seemed to be done with Jimmy Butler. Justine Passat behind the back to Ayanna Patterson. And a tie-up. The East will have it with the arrow. Passat really represents the strength of this class overall, Brooke. That tall, versatile forward. That's her game.
Yeah, I like that. And Passat at 6'4", terrific three-point shooter. We think one of the best in this class. They get a chance to showcase her talents as Kyla Oldacare gets the rebound, hustle it up. Kiki going to work.
Rice headed to UCLA, number 2 player in the ESPN 100 and the National Player of the Year. Gets the friendly bounce.
Yeah, she can really keep a play alive. She's not going to pick her dribble up before she's ready. Head's always up on a swivel looking for somebody open. Patterson been in the weight room a little bit.
Well, Patterson competing in the dunk contest last night as well. Didn't put it down like she wanted to, but flashing the impressive ups over and over again.
The most impressed I've been by misses, right? Off 2 feet, which is not easy to do. And just incredible, incredible athleticism. She's going to throw a few down at UConn, there's no doubt.
Here comes Rice, so dangerous in transition, deflected by Johnson. Chance Gray saves it though for the East. And Gray from the corner, that's her spot. Her second 3 here in the first half.
I like that. It's a broken play that ended up in a 3. Flau'jae Johnson got her hands on that pass, but Chance Gray chased it down. It was back to Kiki. And still got her assist. Are you?
Seven to shoot, Johnson over Rice, left it short. The 2 best point guards in the class on the floor at the same time for the East in Gray and Rice. Oldacare inside. She is a bruiser headed to Miami.
6'6" size, finesse. Oldacare has got that hustle too, so she's going to be able to compete with the ACC, the height and the strength. Good vision too to get the steal.
Give it to Rice, top point guard in the class. That's pure. And it's a double-digit lead for the East. Rice with 7.
Well, you're always going to get me excited about a mid-range pull-up jump shot. I just think it's a lost art in the game, and I'm so glad to see some players really utilizing it instead of, going for the 3 or trying to go in for a layup and getting met and your shot blocked. Okay, Passat.
Passat again with the handles. And out of bounds. Last touched by the West.
Kiki Rice has command of this game, right? She's not doing too much, but she understands her talents. Quick crossover to pull up. She's going to be a very special player. And I think has a pretty bright future in broadcasting if she wants it as well.
Chance Gray with her third three of the half.
Smooth. Favorite WNBA players, Sabrina Ionescu and Kelsey Mitchell, who also know a little bit about shooting the three ball.
It's a 12-0 run for the East. A tie up here, East ball with Johnson on the drive. Let's take a look at the Chance Gray three yet again.
Well, even just look at the pass too. Kiki Rice, you saw that the pass had the rotation on it, hit it right in the pocket. And Gray was able to just catch and shoot. So the setup was nice and the shot was even better.
Mentioned Sabrina Ionescu. Gray, the second highest ranked recruit in program history behind Ionescu. Now it's Barker with her second three. The run continues for the East. Someone is going to get a gem in Janiah Barker, the number 3 player in the ESPN 100. Dariana Little-Page Bugs headed to Baylor, showing off that mid-range. That's a strength of her game.
Gatorade State Player of the Year in Oklahoma. And Chance trying to push her luck, but falling away from the basket. It's a little thing, but it makes a big difference. You have to understand your balance and your footwork. And this is a big floor, so it's going to feel even bigger when you go out there. You want to shoot with your balance falling toward the bucket.
Should always also be said, we are using the college three-point line tonight. Gray with the steal. The race against Johnson, trying to go reverse side. Passat the follow, couldn't finish. Jaquez throws it away. Deflected by the East, it will stay with the West. Of course, coming up, we will have the first McDonald's All-American boys game also since 2019. That is coming up on ESPN. Little-Page Bugs, again, mid-range jumper, smooth.
Well, she's always got her head up when she's playing, so I like the way that she's hunting her shot and not afraid to come in and go for it right away. And hey, this is the time to do it. You want to be a team player, but you also want to say, hey, guess what got me here? Scored a bunch of points.
Gray left it short here. Offensive rebound, Janiah Barker following away, just threw it up at the rim. And here comes the West with Gabriela Jaquez. Tried a little Euro against Kiki Rice. Bet shot blocked. Reagan Beers with the stick back. Beers from Littleton, Colorado, headed to Oregon State.
Well, the West has found themselves now down 13 in this game when they were up 15 the other day in the scrimmage. A little animosity after the game. I mean, healthy, of course, you know, but good competition between these two. And it's on display. I mean, they're going physical.
Barker trying to fall away again. Barker thought she was fouled. That's the thing, both coaches, Brooke, have said the intensity, the focus have really stood out from the first practice on Saturday night.
Yeah, no doubt. You can tell.
Gray in transition against Beers. Little Euro and the scoop for two.
I don't know how she made that shot look easy, but she did. I can tell you that is not an easy shot, especially to finish left. The Euro step, that one is hard to nail down. But for her to finish left and do that is incredible.
And a timeout for the East. They're up by 15.
Yeah, Chance Gray, not afraid to go up against the bigs. Something she'll get used to at the University of Oregon next season.
She looks to relax, though, tonight, Brooke.
Yeah, she does. She came out looking to make an impact and did right away. You could just tell, especially in warm-ups. She was actually the first one out here before anybody came out to shoot. She came out here and said, where's the ball? I'm ready to get warmed up. I'm ready to go. Got that fire, that passion, you know, not that she has anything to prove, but she certainly wants to get noticed when she's out here, right? To make sure to say, hey, I'm on side now. Somebody come find me.
Parker has a dozen to lead all scorers here in the first half. The East up by 15 from Montverde Academy in Central Florida, which has such a rich history on the boys' side. Jaquez missing the layup, but the offensive rebound by Ison Brady. You think of Ben Simmons, you think of D'Angelo Russell, Jaquez with the three, RJ Barrett, Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes. Janiah Barker is making the tradition relevant on the girls' side now.
I like how you said that. That's exactly where I was going when you started talking about all the names, you know, the Ben Simmons and the likes. Montverde is known as an incredible boys program. But for her to get established on the girls' side, and head coach Special Jennings, I know is, ooh, we almost see some acrobatic work from Gales going to the bucket. And so Barker will be playing for the Geico High School National Championship later this week. Down at Fort Myers, we'll get the chance to see her and her teammates at Montverde do their thing.
Can check her out in the semifinals Friday on ESPNU. And you see Barker on the bench just constantly talking. All energy all the time.
So that's going to work for you. Look, she's still.
Yes, we're talking about you, Janiah.
That's right. You know, when someone like that is on your team, you love it, and you can't stand it when you got to play against a player like that. So she's going to be a great asset.
He throws it away. Barker says that her dad, Tyrone, put a basketball in her hands when she was in the first grade. That's when she started playing. She fell in love with the game.
Okay, good to know. All these pointers, I gotta, you know, I got one in the oven. Hopefully, is a McDonald's All-American where I'm just an All-American at McDonald's.
You're going to give your baby the basketball as soon as she is born.
She or he.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Don't know quite yet, do you?
No, we needed a surprise. There's like no surprises left in this world. So around July 21st, we will see, but I'll have the plush basketball in hand, ready to hand it over to the kid. Let's go. Ball handling starts at 2 months.
2 months. Taniya Latson trying to save it for the East. And the West has it. Now Barker from Atlanta was committed to Georgia for the longest time, decommitted Thursday, of course, after Joni Taylor left Georgia to take the job at Texas A&M. This is fun. Brady on the perimeter over Van Sluten. Ice. Brady out of San Diego, the future UConn Husky.
Just another stretch post player who can come out and hit the long range shot. It's not a guard's world anymore, Ted.
Well, Cooper drains the three.
Maybe we'll just share it.
It's Talaysia Cooper's world.
Tonight it sure is. Putting on a stage in Chi-Town. Cooper averaged 26, 13 boards, 9 assists, almost a triple-double. Boy, Dawn Staley in her program, I can only imagine when she starts to get the reps in, understand the nuances of basketball and the offense, she's going to be so dangerous. Cooper
got around Jaquez, feeds inside to Taniya Latson, and taken away by Maya Naji, headed to Arizona. Of course, her brother Zeke, former first-team All-Pac-12 pick in his 1 year at Arizona, now in the NBA. Jaquez from the opposite corner, give it to her. Her second three of the quarter.
You feel that.
Watkins rips it away from Bransford. And Van Sluten too much on it, going reverse side. Approaching the 2-minute mark of the first half. Aaliyah Gales, out of control.
Yeah, this is a game where you like the speed because it's going about 150 miles an hour, but you need it to go at 99 so they can finish some shots.
The adrenaline is pumping like you wouldn't believe, right?
Oh, yeah.
Navarre with the three ball.
Yeah, they've been waiting to put their talents on display here at Wintrust. And with fans earlier on this week, it was friends and family in the stands. It started to get a little more packed last night for the Powerade Jam Fest. Ooh, Jaquez. You know, I was talking with someone earlier today and just got a text in, what do you think about Jaquez? I said, I think she's got incredible skill, a motor. I think she's hungry to learn the game, but I want to see her go after her shot tonight, and she has.
Taniya Latson to the rack. Yes. Flex on him. A three-point play chance for the future Florida State Seminole.
And congrats to Brooke Wyckoff, who took to the job today after Sue Semrau retired. An incredibly quick guard at 5'9". Okay, give a little flex. I'm all right with that.
Latson says that her style is like Russell Westbrook, and I think she means MVP Russ, not Lakers Russ.
Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, early on.
Yes.
Early on, Russ.
So a 14-point lead for the East. Well, high-low, Maya Brady blocked by Latson, who's 5'9".
Latson should have been in the dunk contest with those hops.
Jackson off the mark, and Watkins headed to South Carolina with the rebound and leading the break at 6'3". Latson, three ball, yes!
You love this type of game because when you sub 5 new players in, you're getting 5 fresh All-Americans on the floor.
6 quick points from Tania Latson. Comes up with the deflection there. 34 seconds to go in the half.
You know, Latson showing she's got great help side and vision. Getting up there to block a shot.
Giving up 6 inches to Ison Brady and blocking her shot. Jaquez left alone. In and out. But the putback by Maya Nnaji from Minneapolis headed to Arizona.
The West making a nice little push here before halftime.
Paris Clark will be Maya Nnaji's teammate next year in Tucson. Rejected by Ashlyn Jackson. Out of bounds, 12.5 to play in the half. Navarre puts it in play. Watkins guarded by Brady. Too much on it. Final seconds, Jaquez ahead to Nnaji and ripped away by Paris Clark, her future college teammate. That doesn't matter right now. Clark and the East want to win the McDonald's All-American game. They lead by 15.
Gotta love the hustle by Clark to get back and block a shot. Janiah Barker doing what she does. Talaysia Cooper making her moves. And the East with a big lead.
McDonald's All-American Girls Game. Gorgeous night in Chicago. As the game makes its return after a 3-year absence, the East up by 15. As we get ready for the start of the second half. Last night, Ashlyn Watkins becoming the 3rd girl to win the dunk contest at the Powerade Jam Fest. Candace Parker was another in 04. She paid homage to Parker last night, Brooke.
And the left-handed dunk, an underrated, but this is my favorite. When she hit that, we knew it was over. Watkins gets up above the rim easily.
Candace Parker, Fran Belibi, Ashlyn Watkins, the girls who have won the dunk contest as part of McDonald's All-American Game Week. India Navarre won the skills competition on the girls' side. Ashlyn Jackson won the 3-point shootout. Watkins taking home that trophy as the slam dunk champion. And we are so glad to welcome you back courtside along with former Coastal Carolina star Brooke Weisbrod. I'm Ted Emmerich. Just the versatility, the athleticism on display here in the girls' game. It's really embodied by Janiah Barker of the East.
Someone just walked up to me who's been a representative at these games and said, I just cannot believe in the last 5 years the skill level at which the girls have just gotten so much better. And you look, and it's the bigs. It is the bigs this year. Janiah Barker, one of them, 2 of 2 from behind the three-point line, 5 of 7 from the floor. Look, 12 points in only 8 minutes and 6 seconds of play. This was a great up and under move for Barker to finish in traffic, and I love her confidence. She's unsigned, so she's just making a little extra noise for herself tonight. And then Chance Gray, 3 threes in the first half, 4 of 10. She's another double-figure scorer in this game. She's got 11 points. Moved well without the ball. Her teammates found her. She likes that corner spot. That's been good to her so far in this game.
Parker and Gray leading the way in double figures. Gabriella Jaquez, the leading scorer for the West. with 10 points and 7 rebounds, part of the #1 recruiting class headed to UCLA. But it's Gray and the East up by 15 as we start the third quarter. You pointed this out right after we went to break at the end of the first half. The West has to get their assist numbers up.
Yeah, they got to move the ball a little better. You're seeing a lot of one-on-one ball. There's one that should count there as Jaquez finishes the tough play in traffic. Yeah, you got to have more ball movement. Low assist tells me that, not that there's any selfish basketball going on, but that there's a lot of one-on-one taking place. Got to move it to get good shots, and the East have done a better job at doing that.
Jaquez has been the offense. The West would love to get Flau'jae Johnson going. She's 0 of 7 with 2 points. Lauren Betts, the #1 player in the country, is 0 of 4. Justine Passat getting going for the East. The triple, regarded as perhaps the best shooter in the class.
Yeah, you knew it was only a matter of time before Passat was able to get her shot off. Lady Vols excited about what they're going to see. Oh, Janiyah!
Barker with the block inside.
Extra stare down after that one. Janiyah with a little denier.
I hear what you did there, Brooke. And I'm
really good at bad puns. You're welcome.
Appreciate it. There's Flau'jae Johnson, her first shot made from the floor for the West.
Glad to see Johnson get in the game. I mean, she dropped what we hope is going to be the mixtape of the year. Somebody's got to put a beat onto that rap, though. That's what I'm waiting to see.
Signed with Jay-Z's Rock Nation. Chance Gray, when it's fallen. Gray with her 4th triple.
I didn't know the rims were that soft here at Wintrust.
Maya Naji can step out. And an out, and Barker corrals the rebound for the East. Here's Kiki Rice, the #1 point guard in the class, headed to UCLA. Passat wants another 3.
Good play by Kiki Rice. She had a shot. She could have taken a 3. She could have taken a pull-up jump shot. Tried to drive, but instead trying to get her teammates involved. I appreciate that. Barker with the steal.
Janiyah Barker at 6'4" on the break. 3 on 2, and Barker could not convert herself, and she remains down.
She's just chilling.
I don't think she's hurt.
Nah, she's just taking her time.
Foul at the other end.
She might have a flair for the dramatic. Look, now see, she's mad about getting taken out. Well,
yes.
Hey, got to get back up. You hustle down and play some defense. That's the reason you're sitting.
I would love a McDonald's All-American Game megacast with an ISO camera just on Janiyah Barker.
And a mic.
Yes, and a mic, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Johnson looking for her shot. Gray staying in front. Good read by Patterson.
Ayanna Patterson, future UConn Husky, had it poked away, loose ball. And picked up by Kyla Oldeker, headed to Miami. Now Rice, from the DC metro area, headed to UCLA. Oh, the spin cycle, just missed the jumper. And a foul underneath as Oldeker pulled it down.
Right, not even in college yet, is calling for the double high screen, makes the right read, spin move to an open jump shot. Corey Close is sitting there like, yeah, I'm about to get that on my team.
UCLA just missed the NCAA tournament under Close for the first time since 2015. They should be back in short order with the #1 recruiting class in the country that features Rice and Gabriela Jaquez of the West.
Yeah, Bruin's going to be tough in the Pac-12. Pac-12 is going to be loaded for the next 4 or 5 years. Fun to watch West Coast basketball. I mean, the Pac-12 has been, great, obviously, with what Stanford's done, and Oregon and Sabrina. Oregon State's been good. I'm excited to see what these ladies are going to do at the next level, because what they're doing now is impressive. I can only imagine.
Passat with the deflection, they'll stay with the West. UCLA has 2 players in this game. Stanford has 2. Oregon State, Arizona, all with 2 each.
Yes, I'm sorry. I did not mention Arizona that first time around. My fault.
11 of the 24 players in this game will play in the Pac-12.
Wow. Yeah, Coach Barnes at Arizona. She's also built a very full house. Just watching Arizona play, especially throughout the tournament, those first rounds, it was popping.
Here in the national title game a year ago in that magical run, Ashlyn Jackson headed to Duke with the scoop.
Jackson's got so much joy when she's playing. Always a smile on her face.
That's what Kara Lawson loves the most about her. Oldeker against Lauren Betts, the #1 player in the nation. Couldn't put it in. Out of bounds. It'll stay at this end with the East.
I like how these officials are letting them play. I'm cool with a little physical basketball.
Even in an all-star game.
Yeah, I mean, I get the freedom of movement and all that, but sometimes you miss a little 90s physicality.
Great catch and shoot. Oh, the rainbow doesn't fall. Oldeker, offensive board. Blocked by Betts.
Yeah, that's what Betts told us yesterday. She said, I just love blocking shots. It's my favorite thing to do.
Lauren Betts, back-to-back Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Colorado. And headed to Stanford. Oh, Rice against Gales. This is fun. Two of the best point guards in the country. One-on-one. Rice breaking her down. And she put it in with the foul. Kiki Rice, pure electricity.
Very accurate. Pure electricity on the floor. Making about 20 moves in a matter of 5 seconds. Ooh, that's a tough finish in traffic as well. You see how quick she's able to get separation. With the moves that she has, she doesn't, it's not flair. She's got great assets to how many moves she has, yes, but she uses the right one at the right time.
Rice, a McDonald's All-American, just like her cousin, the great Allen Houston, back in 1989. Flau'jae Johnson going reverse side for two.
Go ahead, Aaliyah Gales with a nice dish, too. She is a sneaky athlete in this class, going to USC at 5'8". She was grabbing the rim the other day.
Fumbled by Passat, taken away by Johnson. Betts ahead to Brady.
Good decision.
It'll be UConn and Stanford in the Final Four. Betts and Brady headed to those schools, playing on the same team tonight. Here is Kiki Rice.
I mean, just a left-handed pass right there, perfectly placed.
Just overcooked it, did Justine Passat. Jackson with the pull-up. Rice in total control. Little hesitation against Jackson. Just couldn't finish. Patterson tried to save it, but the ball belongs to the West. Ayanna Patterson headed to UConn. Until middle school, she thought that she would become an Olympic sprinter, but has devoted her time to basketball and is now a top 5 recruit in the nation.
And Patterson has got great size, comes from a basketball family. Her brother was an LA Laker at one point, so she understands the history and the heritage, and got out of Indiana. I'm surprised UConn was able to come in and scoop one up.
Indiana was the first school to offer her, but UConn won the day. Tania Latson puts it in for the East.
Latson's bouncy, right? Fun to watch.
Latson had that burst of 6 points late in the half. Now she's got 8. Brady lost the handle. Give it ahead to Latson again. This time Johnson got back, and Flau'jae Johnson comes up with the steal. Johnson taken on the defense, rejected by Ashlyn Watkins. Timeout here in Chicago.
Well, Kiki Rice living up to the Player of the Year accolades, especially on this one. The great read in and out, finishing over the player. #1 player in the class, Lauren Betts. Yeah, a little shimmy shake. Shania Barker saying, yeah, she's bouncy.
Doubleheader on ESPN, the Heat and the Celtics at 7:30 Eastern, separated by just a game atop the East. Then, the team with the best record in the NBA, the Suns, matching up with the Warriors. Both games also on the ESPN app. Speaking of the NBA, Jermaine O'Neal, class of 1996, part of the McDonald's All-American game that year. He is in the house along with several other NBA and WNBA luminaries tonight.
Yes, and we've used the word bounce, I feel like, a lot these last few days. Jermaine O'Neal, He had some serious bounce.
He went straight to the league out of high school, back when you could. Don't bring up bounce. Paul Biancardi is somewhere. He wants to break out the list again, the varying levels of bounce. There's some bounce from Gabriela Jaquez, the future UCLA Bruin, an and one.
Oh, so competitive. And I mean, you grow up with an older brother, you really don't have a choice, especially one who can play. Jaquez doing a much better job tonight, I feel like, at making an impact on the floor. I didn't think she was aggressive enough in the scrimmage.
Yeah, Jaquez's brother, Jaime, an all Pac-12 performer with the Bruins. Went to the Final Four last year, the Sweet 16 this year. Jaquez, in the third grade, wrote a note to her family that she wanted to play for UCLA one day, and she has fulfilled that dream.
Some manifestation at work right there.
KK Bransford through the teeth of the defense for two.
Yeah, the West gonna have to make their push. And it's gonna start on the glass defensively, and then I like the transition game. If they can keep this up, it's gonna be a close one.
Jaquez again, lead is down to 12. And a timeout for the East. Jaquez with 17 to lead the West.
I remember hearing the East in the huddle the other day, down 15, saying, we got this, don't worry about it. Well, tonight, I feel like the West is in that same position. Great heads-up pass once more by Aaliyah Gaines, who's got great vision, headed to USC to her Pac-12 teammates. Gabby Jaquez.
7-0 run for the West, last four from Jaquez. A part of that #1 recruiting class for 2022 that also includes Kiki Rice, who has been a star tonight for the East, and two other top 50 players in the ESPN 100.
Yeah, this is exciting to see what's developing out West. And just the players tonight. I mean, it's interesting because we've seen in the past, many 4 or 5 going to UConn, South Carolina. At one time, Rutgers had at least a half a dozen on their squad. So it's kind of cool to see the balance shift out a little bit more toward the West.
Now, Rice told you at the half, it's an intriguing element to bring UCLA their first ever national championship in women's basketball. Grace Van Sluten headed to Oregon. 3-point play chance.
Yeah, 6'3". Watch the footwork, the finesse, the finish. Come on, underhand, fade away, finger roll. This is what we're doing now at 6'4". This is what we're doing in high school. Okay.
Her first points, part of IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. You'll see her at Geico Nationals in the first round Thursday on ESPN+. Such a busy week for a lot of players in this game and the boys game with Geico Nationals on the back end. Loose ball. Ruby Whitehorn collects it for the West. Deflected by Paris Clark, and it'll stay at this end. Now, speaking of Geico Nationals, yes, some of the best programs in the nation going at it. Starts on Thursday all across the ESPN networks. The boys quarterfinals on ESPNU, the first round in the women's tournament on ESPN+. 7 boys games, 4 girls games. Again, it all starts on Thursday, 12 Eastern on ESPNU on the boys side.
Another big event that high school players look forward to being a part of. It's the high school national championship. Okay, hands, India.
India Navarre headed to the Stanford Cardinal. The lob for Ashlyn Watkins, and she stuck with it. Can you imagine if she had thrown that down? She has the bounce to do it.
Ted, if she would have dunked that ball, I probably would have had to shove you out of the seat with all this energy. Good backdoor move by Jaquez. But that's what Watkins can do, right? She's the type of player who loves to hunt down rebounds. Offensive rebounding is part of her strength. She gets up for this one, reads the miss, and then gets right back up for the offensive glass. She is going to be a beast to try to keep off the glass. I mean, can you imagine trying to box her out?
Yeah, no thanks.
No thanks, right. No thank you.
Talasia Cooper will be Watkins' teammate at South Carolina next season. Van Sluten, no. Loose ball. And picked up by KK Bransford.
You can tell the West has made an intentional effort to get this transition game up and moving.
Hilda Hankerson, the coach of the West from Westlake High School in the Atlanta metro area. Her team won Geico Nationals a year ago in Fort Myers. Najee, too strong. Rebound for Grace Van Slooten. Navarre won the skills competition last night. Cooper with the follow on the other side.
Well, you've got two great rebounders in Cooper and Watkins. It's a
and
defense.
Now the block by Cooper, but a foul as well, defending Ruby Whitehorn. Patty Evers, the head coach of the East Bladen High School in Elizabethtown, North Carolina. These coaches are so proud to be a part of this event, just like the players.
Yeah, part of the qualifications is that they've had to coach for 25 years, and a lot of these coaches come from smaller programs and smaller towns. So, for them to be a part of this experience, to come to a big city like Chicago, take in all these events, it's just as star-studded of a feeling for them as it is for the players.
And both coaches joined by their staff as well from their respective high schools. Such a cool element. Van Slooten, no. Latson had it stripped. Bransford ahead to Jaquez. Cooper affected it. Najee the trailer for two.
Okay, the way this game's going, we're going to have to get a dunk here.
Latson puts it in for the East. It is up and down now.
It's hard to believe the East is up almost 20 points. It feels a lot more competitive than that.
And a tie-up as Bransford made her move. East ball with the arrow. You're right, it was just that run in the second quarter that helped the East separate. Outside of that, yeah, this has been a tight game.
Yeah. The East putting up 29 points in that second quarter was a problem. The West trying to recover from that, but you just got so much competition and pride out here on the line. The East is like, no, we're just going to push the gas a little harder.
The gas will be pushed in the boys' game as well.
Oh,
9
yeah.
Eastern coming up on ESPN. Brooke will be joined by PB, Paul Biancardi, and Corey Alexander, the 1991 McDonald's All-American. Watkins, the hustle play, diving to pick it up. It'll stay at this end. 3 on the timer for the East. This is the 20th year of the McDonald's All-American Girls game. Cooper, end of the shot clock, an air ball. And a foul with 15 seconds. Yeah, the first McDonald's All-American Girls game, 2002 in New York City at Madison Square Garden. This is the 19th edition of the game, of course canceled the last 2 years because of the pandemic. Final seconds of the quarter. Boy, how active have these players been all night long defensively? They've been engaged, trying to disrupt the other team.
No letdowns, which tells me that they're in fantastic shape, because everything they've gone through this week, I would be tired. They found the energy to do it.
Tamea Gardner draws the foul with under 5 seconds to go. Gardner from Ogden, Utah, headed to Oregon State, where she'll join her teammate tonight, Reagan Beers. It's the best recruiting class in program history. Gardner, the number 6 player in the nation.
Yeah, I like the way she's played tonight. Just solid, consistent, and confident when she handles the ball. She's a versatile player, and I think really thrives on that. An artist loves to read, so she's going to have plenty of time when they're traveling to, pick up on your hobbies. That's what I like. I love to hear about these creative endeavors from these players.
West trying to come up with a steal in the final seconds. Jaquez couldn't capitalize because Cooper was there for the East, which has the big lead heading to the fourth quarter here in Chicago.
It's been a muscle-packed game, that's for sure. A little finesse, little speed. Barker laid out for a little bit. Jaquez trying to get the West back in this one. I don't know if they can do it. That's a big lead.
We are celebrating the return of this great game. One of the tentpole nights in high school basketball. The girls' game heading to the fourth quarter. Ted Emmerich, Brooke Weisbrod, our entire crew, the East up 73-57. The class of 2022, Janiah Barker, Aaliyah Gale, some of the top players in the country on the court here at Wintrust Arena in Chicago. Lauren Betts is the #1 player in the ESPN 100, 6'7", signed with Stanford. It's been a tough night for her offensively.
Yeah, she hasn't been able to get a clean look. Barker almost with her 3 of the night.
Gale's the lead pass. Just past Ariana Little Paige Bugs, and look out. Ruby Whitehorn and Little Paige Bugs take a spill, but all okay. All hustle all the time, even in this environment.
Right, not turning it down for a moment. I like it. 2 players going after the loose ball. The college coaches are like, whoa,
Yeah.
hold on.
Hang on. Don't care about it that much.
Wait 5 months to do that, please.
Kiki Rice, #1 point guard in the class. Offensive rebound, Tania Latson. So aggressive. Ball knocked out of her hands, out of bounds.
Yeah, we knew her as one of the better on-ball defenders coming into this game, but she has proven herself to be a scorer.
5'9", battling inside at times. Now Barker, that's 6'4", around and out. Little Paige Bugs for 3, and she hits. Nikki Collin can't wait to get her to Waco.
I know, that's right. I like her shot, too. She brings it above her head. This is going to be a far stretch, but the first person that flashed in my mind was Larry Bird, the way that she shoots it.
Just the form.
Yes, just the form, yeah.
Now I could see that. Latson draws the foul. And what Nikki Collin loves about Little Paige Bugs, again, is the mid-range game. Kind of a throwback in that respect, but showing off her range here to the arc.
Yeah, I mean, well, Barker going to give her that room. See what I mean? She brings it up behind her head, kind of like Larry used to. And probably still does. Probably gets up some shots.
Latson at the line. Little Paige Bugs, 6'2", out of Oklahoma City. She says that she studies Kevin Durant and specifically how he creates space using his length and various moves.
He's one to watch, you know, as somebody who understands balance and when and where to shoot. And he's always, because of his length as well, can get his own shot off, but he can create space with just one little head fake, little shoulder fake, step back, and that's what I'm seeing from her as well. Not a lot of flash, but she's effective.
5 new players coming in for the West at the next whistle.
And Betts trying to direct traffic. She's like, look, I got the seal over here. Give mama the ball.
Beers and Betts, good friends, couldn't connect. Oldeker with the steal. Oldeker on the break, and she lost it.
Good save.
Gale's kept it in play. And Oldeker couldn't quite handle it. All new 5 in for the West with 8:09 to go. Ashlyn Jackson couldn't get the friendly roll. Nice Brady trying to save it. But the ball belongs to the East.
And now you got Gray and Rice in the game, the point guards, so you know that they're in control of the ball. They're not going to make bad decisions. And I like how Kiki's like, no, Chance, you take it. I'm good at playing the 2 guard.
Matching up against her future college teammate at UCLA and Jaquez. Back to Gray. Oh, that was from deep.
That was the game winner the other day in the
Yes.
scrimmage. That's right where she hit it. Come on, Flau'jae. Give us a little something.
Ashlyn Jackson for 3. Bullseye.
A little something, I'll take an assist. Great job handing it off to Jackson, who won the 3-point contest.
Jackson says her favorite player is Maya Moore. That goes well beyond basketball, as we all know. Now Rice against Jaquez again. 2 of the headliners in the #1 recruiting class headed to UCLA. Oh, Rice yet again knifing through.
Oh, we're gonna see that a bunch. As soon as we get on our phones after this game, that's gonna be all over Instagram. That move, that spin, that was excellent.
She's had a couple of those plays tonight.
Yeah, She got the mixtape going.
Flau'jae Johnson knows something about mixtapes. Now Jaquez. Under 10 to shoot. Gardner over Barker. Might have gotten a piece of that. And it's out to the east. Back to Rice.
Well, Rice creating something out of nothing. The defense, everybody was locked up. She said, that's okay, I can create on my own. CYOS, create your own shot. Gets low, explosive, and then pulls her head up at the last minute to be able to see the rim and finish with spin.
Kiki Rice in the east, up by 14 in the McDonald's All-American game. Girls game is presented by McDonald's. Some of the icons who use the McDonald's All-American game as a springboard for their careers, including Skylar Diggins, Erica Wheeler as well from the Atlanta Dream, WNBA All-Star Game MVP 3 years ago, and an All-American back in 2009 in the house.
Started off her day yesterday in Poland. So flies to Chicago, comes here to the game. I mean, it's probably 1, 2 o'clock in the morning in Poland. And I said, you're not feeling the jet lag? She goes, of course, I'm still gonna show up. That's E-Dub. High energy Erica Wheeler in the building.
Got all the energy you want on the court tonight as we celebrate the young stars of the game. The East up by 14, approaching the 6-minute mark here in the fourth. Talaysia Cooper headed to South Carolina, guarded by Gabriela Jaquez. Gardner the deflection, 3 to shoot. Clark puts it up. Flau'jae Johnson headed to LSU. Now Johnson poked it away from Navarre, loose ball. Scooped up by Clark.
Ooh.
And rejected by Ice Brady.
Get the pride on the defensive level, both ends. It's been something fun to watch.
Brady, one of 2 top 5 recruits headed to UConn, along with Ayanna Patterson in this game. Cooper, the 3. Talaysia Cooper has really flashed offensive efficiency here tonight.
Yeah, she has. It's certainly not somebody you identified as one of the top scorers in coming into this game, but you look back at her numbers and she's got some of the most impressive stats here. 26 points, 13 boards, 9 assists a game. You've got a player who's nearly averaging a triple-double. Incredible. Might be the MVP of the night, though.
Cooper picking a good one. Her favorite athlete, Candace Parker. And playing here on the home court of the Chicago Sky. Wow. Cooper to the rim. So the 3 followed by the deuce. Cooper attended a South Carolina camp in the 7th grade. Dawn Staley was so impressed, she offered her a scholarship then. Gardner inside for the West. How about that, getting a scholarship offer in middle school?
I'm kind of speechless. Yeah, I'm just thinking about that comment there to think like, wow, I mean, the level of skill and foresight that Dawn Staley had to say, yes, not only will we offer you, but to see the future in the hands, you know, of this player, and here she is delivering. There's another player.
Ashlyn Watkins, her future teammate at South Carolina with the block on Jaquez.
Well, Talaysia Cooper making South Carolina proud tonight. Ooh, all the moves, keeping the dribble alive underneath Jaquez to finish a strong play.
12 and 6 for Cooper tonight. It's actually been a pretty balanced effort for the East overall. Yeah. Chance Gray with the 4 threes, Janiah Barker in double figures as well.
And it's interesting because you've got players who probably never, ever come out having to substitute out. And you can just see the look of dejection on all of their faces like, man, really? I got to share time?
I'm just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
Dariana Little-Page-Buggs getting going here in the 4th quarter for the West.
Keep me in, coach.
By the way, it is a rule in the McDonald's game. Everyone has to play at least 10 minutes.
That's great.
Maybe we want to see everyone, of course.
Latson, look, she wants to post up.
Against Aaliyah Gales, a point guard, she might have the matchup there.
Well, it's funny. You got Barker shooting outside shots.
Yep.
And then Latson wanting to post up inside. Makes sense.
Letson nails the triple. Wanted to post up. Oh, let's go back to the perimeter.
The game within the game is Latson and Aaliyah Gales talking smack to each other in the best way.
Oh, Barker hit from behind by Dariana Littlepage Buggs.
Huh. Didn't take the help up.
Well, she did not.
Notice that after that. Hustle here, saving the ball, getting it right back. A little something to say.
Oh, and a little pat for Gales as
That's
well.
right.
I don't think that didn't go unnoticed. Here's Chance Gray going to Oregon. And Gray was attacking a fellow Ohio product in KK Bransford.
Well, I like this signee with Oregon. I know Kelly Graves had made mention of wanting to get some players who really have that next level mentality, that that alpha dog kind of mentality, and I think that's perfect. Chance Gray heading that way. And she's going to give them that that dog that you need to have in the fight.
You know, a lot of balance in the box score. Is Chance Gray your MVP at the moment?
Hard to say. We still got 3.5 minutes left.
Or is it Kiki Rice?
That's going to be hard not to give it to Kiki after tonight. She made all the highlights.
Largest lead of the game for the East. Lauren Betts at 6'7", contending with Barker, and Betts puts it home. Betts had a standout summer for the U.S. Under-19 national team. Van Slooten, no, Betts there defensively. Betts was the only high school player on the team that won the FIBA World Cup in Hungary. She averaged a double-double on that squad that was led by Caitlin Clark of Iowa.
She's had trouble getting a free look tonight. The defense has been all over her. You know, when you're the #1 player, everybody knows it, right? So they're going to stand up and play their best against her. Took her a while to get on the board tonight, but that's what she's good at right there, is blocking shots. Give it to him, Kiki.
The
Give
hesitation.
It to him.
Oh, give it to
right.
her. The 3 ball for Kiki Rice, the consensus National Player of the Year. Maybe it is Rice. The highlight quality moves. Latson Wild trying to finish against the 6'7" Betts. That wasn't happening.
Yeah, you're going to have to sell it a little bit more. Now here's Kiki. Taking all the time. Well, you gonna step back? Yeah, I'm gonna drain this one right in your eyeball. Bench loves it. You know, everybody here is supporting each other. That's what you love to see. Everybody's worked so hard to earn this status and be named a McDonald's All-American. They all understand the moment, how big this really is. Nice pass.
Oh, well done. Ashlyn Jackson setting up Ice Brady for 2. That's the thing, it's so fun to have this night back, to have the game. McDonald's All-American rosters were named the last 2 years. Didn't have the game, didn't have the Powerade Jam Fest, but we have all the festivities back this week in Chicago.
Thank goodness. Just feels right.
Brady, a little one-legged fall away. See a little Dirk there. You know I had to make a Dirk reference as a Dallas guy. You knew that was coming at some point. Patterson blocked by Brady. Future teammates at Connecticut, but the foul is called against Brady. Well, speaking of the Huskies, they are in the Final Four for a 14th consecutive year. Friday night, the national semifinals. UConn, a defending champion Stanford, the second game. Louisville, South Carolina, the first game at 7 Eastern, both on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Now, we had the dunk contest and such last night, but I sprinted into one of the rooms here to catch the beginning of the second overtime at what might be, I mean, the game of ages. What a game between North Carolina State and UConn. And that's what we hope for in the tournament. I mean, you want to see games like that, and it's delivered. We had big moments. Fran Belibi with the throwdown. Come on.
3 of the 4 schools in the Final Four this year, South Carolina, UConn, and Stanford, have 2 recruits each who have played in this game tonight.
Wow.
It's like there's a reason that they're in the Final Four. They continue to recruit at such a high level. Gardner, headed to Oregon State, is fouled with 1:07 to go.
What people don't realize, it's not you get a McDonald's All-American and get to the Final Four. That's not how it works.
Sure.
You really got to develop players still when they get to the next level and making the most out of those talents. But yeah, it's not just an automatic thing to sign All-Americans.
Of course not, yeah.
And get there. But, you know, a lot of people like to think that way.
How about the West putting a little pressure? Cooper breaking it. Talaysia Cooper. Ayanna Patterson with the follow.
Yeah, I don't think Cooper feels a whole lot of pressure.
Unfazed.
Yeah, she seems to handle it really well.
Now, from scrimmage to the practices, there's Gardner with the jumper. Yeah, Talaysia Cooper's been impressive all week. Clark had it ripped away by Aaliyah Gales. Flau'jae Johnson missed the layup. Dariana Little-Page Buggs couldn't hit. Under 30 seconds. Cooper hits another triple.
Yeah, I'm sold. I'm sold on Cooper.
Talaysia Cooper, the number 18 player in the nation, from a small town and shining on the big stage here tonight. Final 10 seconds. Paris Clark staying in front of Aaliyah Gales. And knocked out of bounds with half a second to play. You'll see Clark and Gales in the Pac-12 next season. Clark to Arizona. Gales will be at USC. And that does it here in Chicago. The East led by Kiki Rice, the National Player of the Year. Triumphs over the West, 95-75 in the return of the McDonald's All-American game. A balanced effort overall from the East, and they can celebrate. A culmination of a special week here in Chicago. From the practices Saturday night to the game here on Tuesday night, our two MVPs are with Brooke.
All right, Kiki. Now, y'all came back from 15 down the other day, but tonight it was a different story. How did this game feel in your mind?
We just focused on our defensive intensity, and I know, we came out hard. We were really focusing on just, having a good start and playing our game, and I think we executed the game plan.
What does it take to make some of these finishes, these moves that you have? I mean, you're putting all kinds of English on the ball.
Yeah, a lot of practice, just a lot of working out, focusing on finishing over bigger defenders and just, changing in the air. So, yeah, just a lot of practice.
How would you kind of take a look at these last few days in this event, what it's meant to you, to your team, and these young ladies who you're now going to remember for life?
Yeah, I mean, this has been, such a great weekend. I think, I've been able to spend so much quality time with so many other great players, and then, my future UCLA teammate, Gavs, over here. So it's just been such an amazing week, and I'm forever going to remember it.
Awesome. Congratulations. And yeah, future UCLA teammate. We saw you out there tonight. I thought you did a much better job hunting for your shot. What did the game feel like to you? Felt like you let it come to you, or you went out and got it?
I think, just both of those. I took the shots when I was open. I took them. I didn't really try to hesitate, and they went in. It's good.
Keep it simple. I like that. What has this meant to be a part of this event? Knowing you're going to UCLA to play with your brother, but you can look back at this and say what comes to mind?
That's crazy. Dreams do come true. I'm just still in awe that I'm here right now. Just to be a McDonald's All-American is just truly such an honor.
Congratulations to both of you ladies. All right, let's go celebrate.
The two headliners of the #1 recruiting class for 2022 headed to UCLA. Kiki Rice, Gabriela Jaquez, the MVPs of the McDonald's All-American game. Be sure and join us 9 Eastern on ESPN for the boys game. Now for Brooke Weisbrod and our entire crew, this is Ted Emmerich saying so long for now from Chicago.